here in the library, the Stephen A. Schwartzman building, and in particular in the Berg collection of English and American literature, today to look at the Hunt-Lenox Globe, which is certainly one of the library's great treasures. The globe itself dates from probably about 1508 to 1510, as far as we can tell. And it is significant for several reasons. One being that it is one of the earliest known surviving terrestrial globes. And as well, it is quite likely the earliest globe to depict the Americas. The globe is made of etched copper, and it's about the size of, say, a grapefruit is a good analogy in terms of its size. It's loaded with all kinds of cartographic and historical detail that are not always easily seen. The format, the media itself of etched copper can be a little hard to make it a little hard to discern some of these details, but certainly if you look closely, this is Europe, which is fairly accurately depicted. The outlines, the contours of the landmass are fairly accurate, especially for a work created in the early 16th century. We also have here Africa as well, which it's also fairly accurate, the Middle East. As we go across the Atlantic Ocean, we then come to the Americas. We can see South America depicted. There's no North America shown on the globe. Some of the larger islands in the Caribbean are shown, Hispaniola, Cuba, but there is no North American continent depicted, although by that time, around 1510 or so, certainly it was known that North America existed. And one of the significant things about the globe, aside from its primacy, being one of the earliest terrestrial globes, is also this Latin inscription, which is hard to make out. It's just below the equator, and it's located where today we would see probably southeastern China or maybe Vietnam depicted on a map. But the inscription reads, "Hic sunt dracones," here be dragons. This is one of only two medieval or Renaissance era maps or globes on which that legend or motto can be found. Today, the phrase, "Here be dragons," if you see that on a map or globe, especially one that's pretending to be an old map or globe, it has the connotation of the unknown. And so it may have something of that in its meaning, but also it may be more directly a reference to the Komodo dragons that were known to be native to that part of the world, Indonesia in particular. But the globe itself is wonderful as well, and as I mentioned, it's difficult to discern some of the detail unless you get very close. But if you look closely, you can begin to see ships depicted, caravels, very similar to the sorts of ships on which Columbus would have undertaken his initial voyage to the Americas. You can also see sea monsters depicted very fancifully. It really is a wonderful, wonderful item. And again, this is one of the great treasures of the library, certainly to my mind, and I think to many of my colleagues' minds. So we're delighted that we're able to share the globe with you today.